On January 27, 2025, President Donald Trump made a significant move in U.S. defense policy by signing an executive order to initiate the development of a next-generation missile defense shield inspired by Israel's Iron Dome system. This decision was influenced by the growing complexity and intensity of missile threats faced by the United States, including ballistic, hypersonic, and advanced cruise missiles. Executive Order Overview. The executive order mandates that within 60 days the Secretary of Defense must submit a comprehensive implementation plan that outlines the architecture of the new missile defense system. This plan will prioritize defense against a variety of missile threats, including those posed by both peer and rogue adversaries. The President emphasized that the evolving nature of missile technology over the past 40 years has made the threat landscape increasingly dangerous, necessitating a robust defense mechanism. Historical references were made to past efforts, such as President Reagan's Strategic Defense Initiative, underscoring the urgency and importance of this initiative. Key objectives and technological focus. The initiative aims to develop several key capabilities. 1. Space-based interceptors. The plan includes the acceleration of deploying interceptors that can operate in space, targeting missiles during their boost phase or before launch. 2. Comprehensive defense architecture. The architecture must encompass various missile types and incorporate modern technologies to provide a multi-layered defense. 3. Secure supply chain. Establishing a reliable and resilient supply chain for defense components is crucial for the system's effectiveness and sustainability. 4. Non-kinetic capabilities. The development of non-kinetic methods to augment traditional interception techniques is also a focus, aiming for a more versatile defense approach. Strategic context and implementation. The executive order reflects a broader strategic context where the United States must ensure its national security against a backdrop of increasing missile capabilities from adversaries. The plan will also address the need for a secure second strike capability, vital for deterrence. The Department of Defense is tasked with reviewing current capabilities and structures to facilitate the swift deployment of this new missile defense system. Additionally, a funding strategy will be developed in conjunction with the budget proposals for fiscal year 2026 to ensure the initiative is adequately financed. Reaction and implications. Reactions to the executive order varied across different media outlets. The Times of Israel highlighted Trump's praise for Israel's Iron Dome, noting its effectiveness against short-range threats while questioning its suitability for intercontinental missile defense. In contrast, France 24 provided a broader overview of Trump's campaign promises and the implications for U.S. national security without delving deeply into technical specifics. The American Presidency Project offered a detailed account of the executive order, clarifying the specific directives and strategic plans outlined by the President. Timeline of events. January 27, 2025, Trump signs the executive order for the development of the missile defense shield. 2024, Trump made repeated campaign promises about establishing a U.S. version of the Iron Dome system. Post-2002, the U.S. has gradually shifted its missile defense policy, particularly after withdrawing from the Anti-Ballistic Missile Treaty, increasing focus on diverse missile threats. Conclusion. In summary, the executive order signed by President Trump marks a pivotal step in enhancing U.S. missile defense capabilities in response to evolving global threats. By prioritizing technological advancement and a strategic approach to national defense, the initiative aims to bolster the security of the United States and its allies. The forthcoming months will be critical as the Department of Defense develops the implementation plan and funding strategies to bring this ambitious vision to fruition by 2025. Counterintuitive information in the content includes the following points. 1. Mismatch of threats. While President Trump emphasizes the need for a missile defense system akin to Israel's Iron Dome, the Iron Dome is primarily designed to intercept short-range threats such as rockets fired from neighboring territories. This contrasts sharply with the primary threats faced by the United States. which include intercontinental ballistic missiles (ICBMs) and advanced cruise missiles. The initiative's focus on a system modeled after the Iron Dome may not adequately address the more complex and long-range threats that the U.S. is likely to encounter. 2. Historical context. Trump's executive order references past missile defense efforts, notably President Reagan's initiatives. However, the failure of these past programs, including the Strategic Defense Initiative (SDI), suggests that the ambitious goals set forth in the current order may be overly optimistic. The acknowledgement of historical attempts that did not reach their objectives raises questions about the feasibility of successfully implementing a new complex missile defense system within the proposed timeline. 3. Technological advancements. The order calls for the acceleration of technologies such as space-based interceptors and non-kinetic capabilities. Yet it is worth noting that these technologies are still in developmental stages and may face significant challenges before they can be operational. The expectation of deploying such advanced systems by 2025 may be overly ambitious given the historical complexities involved in developing and deploying missile defense technologies. For funding and budget dynamics, the executive order outlines the need for a comprehensive funding plan to support the Missile Defense Initiative, which will be considered during the fiscal year 2026 budget discussions. However, the political and economic landscape can be unpredictable, and securing sufficient funding for a new defense project amidst competing budgetary priorities may prove to be a significant hurdle, potentially delaying implementation or resulting in scaled-back capabilities. 5. Strategic implications. The order emphasizes the need for a secure second strike capability, which traditionally involves maintaining a robust nuclear deterrent. However, the focus on missile defense may inadvertently shift resources and attention away from other critical components of national security such as diplomacy, intelligence, and conventional military readiness. This could lead to a strategic imbalance if not carefully managed. 6. Collaborative defense efforts. The order mentions the need for increased cooperation with allies on missile defense initiatives. However, relying on international partnerships may introduce additional complexities, including differing national priorities, technological capabilities, and funding commitments. The expectation that these collaborations will seamlessly enhance U.S. missile defense capabilities may not align with the realities of international defense cooperation. 7. Public perception versus reality. Trump's rhetoric around the Missile Defense Initiative aims to project strength and decisiveness in the face of emerging threats. However, the public's perception of the effectiveness of missile defense systems often does not align with the technical realities and limitations of such systems. This gap between perception and reality may lead to disillusionment or skepticism regarding the government's ability to protect its citizens effectively. These counterintuitive elements highlight the complexities and potential challenges associated with Trump's ambitious missile defense plan, raising questions about its viability and effectiveness in addressing the actual threats facing the United States. The report on President Trump's executive order for developing a next-generation missile defense shield highlights several key components that may be overlooked by many readers. Here are the important details and their significance. 1. Technological objectives and space-based interceptors. One of the most substantial aspects of the executive order is its emphasis on deploying space-based interceptors. This is significant because it represents a shift toward integrating space capabilities into national defense strategies, reflecting the evolving nature of warfare where space plays a crucial role. The ability to intercept missiles during their boost phase could potentially enhance the effectiveness of the defense system significantly. People often underestimate the strategic importance of space in contemporary military operations, and this initiative underscores that reality. 2. Historical context and strategic continuity. The executive order references historical efforts, particularly those by President Reagan's administration, to establish a missile defense system. Trump's acknowledgement of past attempts at missile defense illustrates a continuity of strategic thinking regarding national security that transcends political administrations. This historical context is essential as it shows an ongoing recognition of missile threats that have only intensified over decades. Many may overlook this connection, but understanding it provides insight into the long-term strategic objectives of U.S. defense policy. 3. Comprehensive architecture for threat defense. The order mandates the Secretary of Defense to submit a detailed implementation plan, including a comprehensive architecture for missile defense. This thorough approach is significant because it highlights the administration's commitment to not just creating a system but ensuring it is well planned and integrated within existing defense frameworks. The focus on addressing multiple types of missile threats, ballistic, hypersonic, and advanced cruise missiles, underscores the complexity of modern warfare and the need for a multifaceted defense strategy. Readers might miss the intricacies involved in threat assessment and architecture planning, which are critical to the efficacy of any defense initiative. 4. Funding and implementation timeline. The directive includes a timeline for implementation and calls for a funding plan to support the Missile Defense Initiative. This is an important aspect often overlooked in discussions about defense projects, as funding can determine the success or failure of ambitious military programs. The commitment to reviewing and possibly restructuring the Department of Defense's organizational capabilities for swift deployment indicates a proactive approach to potential bureaucratic inertia, which can often impede defense advancements. 5. International cooperation and allied defense. The order emphasizes the importance of cooperation with allies in missile defense. This aspect is significant as it reflects the U.S. strategy of not just defending its own territory but also enhancing the defense capabilities of allied nations. The call for increased bilateral and multilateral cooperation on missile defense technology development shows a recognition that modern threats are often global in nature and require collective responses. Readers might overlook the geopolitical ramifications of this cooperation, which could influence international relations and defense postures among U.S. allies. 6. Non-kinetic capabilities. The mention of developing non-kinetic capabilities to augment missile defense is another critical element that may be missed. Non-kinetic approaches such as electronic warfare or cyber capabilities could provide alternative methods to mitigate missile threats without traditional interception methods. This inclusion indicates a broader understanding of defense that encompasses various forms of technology and strategy, which is crucial in the evolving landscape of military engagement. 7. Counter-value attack defense. The executive order discusses plans to defend against counter-value attacks, which typically target a nation's economic or civilian infrastructure rather than military targets. This focus is significant because it acknowledges that modern conflicts may involve attacks aimed at crippling a nation's economy or morale rather than just military targets. The strategic importance of protecting critical infrastructure often gets overshadowed in discussions about military capabilities, yet it is vital for national security and resilience. 8. Second strike capability guarantee. The guarantee of a secure second strike capability is a critical element for deterrence in nuclear strategy. This assurance is significant because it reassures the American public and allies of the U.S.'s readiness to respond to nuclear threats. Many discussions around missile defense tend to focus solely on interception capabilities, but the aspect of maintaining a credible deterrent is equally important in ensuring national security. Conclusion. The development of a next-generation missile defense shield as initiated by Trump's executive order is a multifaceted initiative that goes beyond merely creating a physical defense system. It addresses technological advancements, strategic continuity, international cooperation, and the evolving nature of missile threats. The elements highlighted above reflect a comprehensive approach to national defense that is significant yet often overlooked in broader discussions. Understanding these nuances is crucial for grasping the complexities of modern defense policy and the implications of such an ambitious initiative on U.S. security and global relations. 1. Executive Order details an implementation plan. The executive order signed by President Trump mandates the Secretary of Defense to submit a detailed implementation plan within 60 days. This plan will outline the architecture and capabilities necessary for the next-generation missile defense shield, focusing on a comprehensive defense strategy against various missile threats. The emphasis on a structured implementation plan highlights the administration's proactive approach to national defense amidst evolving threats from adversaries. This point is crucial for understanding both the operational framework and the urgency of the initiative. 2. Technological objectives and innovations. The initiative aims to accelerate the development of advanced technologies including space-based interceptors and capabilities to intercept missiles before launch or during their boost phase. Establishing a secure supply chain for these components is pivotal to ensure resilience and reliability. This focus on cutting-edge technology not only addresses immediate missile threats but also positions the United States at the forefront of missile defense innovation, which is essential for maintaining strategic superiority. 3. Strategic context and historical references. The executive order places Trump's initiative within a broader historical context, referencing past efforts like President Reagan's Strategic Defense Initiative. By acknowledging the increasing complexity and intensity of missile threats over the past 4 decades, the order illustrates a strategic shift in U.S. defense policy aimed at adapting to contemporary challenges. This historical perspective is valuable for analyzing how past lessons inform current military strategies and the perceived necessity for a robust missile defense system. For funding and organizational review, the Department of Defense is tasked with reviewing current capabilities and organizational structures to facilitate the swift deployment of the new missile defense system. The need for a funding plan that aligns with budget proposals for fiscal year 2026 underscores the financial implications of this initiative. This point is significant for discussing the economic and logistical considerations of implementing large-scale defense projects and the potential impacts on other areas of the federal budget. These points collectively provide a comprehensive foundation for in-depth analysis and discussion on the implications of Trump's missile defense initiative, its technological advancements, strategic relevance, and the financial and organizational challenges involved in its implementation. 1. The Strategic Defense Initiative (SDI), initiated by President Ronald Reagan in 1983. The SDI was a proposed missile defense system intended to protect the United States from nuclear missile attacks, primarily from the Soviet Union. The program aimed to develop ground-based and space-based systems to intercept and destroy incoming missiles before they could reach their targets. Although the SDI led to advancements in missile defense technology, it faced criticism regarding its feasibility and cost and was ultimately abandoned after the Cold War ended. 2. The THAAD system, Terminal High Altitude Area Defense, developed by the U.S. Army and Raytheon. THAAD is a missile defense system designed to intercept short, medium, and intermediate-range ballistic missiles during their terminal phase of flight. The program gained international attention when it was deployed in South Korea in response to North Korea's missile threats. While it has been operational since 2008 and has undergone successful tests, it has also faced geopolitical controversies, particularly regarding regional security dynamics and relations with China. 3. The Aero Defense System, jointly developed by Israel and the United States. The Aero Defense System is designed to intercept and destroy ballistic missiles outside the Earth's atmosphere. It has been operational since the early 2000s and is considered a key component of Israel's multi-layered missile defense strategy alongside the Iron Dome and David's Sling systems. The Aero program has seen various iterations and upgrades reflecting the evolving missile threats in the region, and serves as a benchmark for other nations pursuing similar capabilities. Future outlook: predictions for the development of Trump's missile defense shield by 2025 and beyond. As President Donald Trump initiates the ambitious project of developing a next-generation missile defense shield, it is essential to consider the implications and potential outcomes of this initiative over the coming years. The executive order signed on January 27, 2025 marks a significant shift in U.S. defense policy, and its effective implementation will likely shape both national security and international relations. Here are some predictions for the future regarding this missile defense project. 1. Technological advancements and challenges. The proposed missile defense shield aims to integrate advanced technologies including space-based interceptors and non-kinetic capabilities. By 2025 we can expect significant progress in the development of these technologies. However, challenges remain, particularly regarding the complexity and cost of producing reliable space-based interceptors. The success of such systems will depend on overcoming hurdles related to miniaturization speed and precision. Prediction: by 2025 we will witness the successful testing of several prototype interceptors, but full operational capability may take longer due to technological complexities and budget constraints. 2. Budget and resource allocation. The implementation of the missile defense shield will require substantial financial investment. The Department of Defense will need to prioritize funding within the fiscal year 2026 budget, and this may lead to shifts in resource allocation from other defense programs. Prediction: by 2026 debates over budget allocations will intensify, with potential pushback from Congress regarding the prioritization of missile defense over other critical areas, such as cybersecurity and conventional force readiness. 3. International relations and military alliances. The establishment of a U.S. missile defense shield will likely impact relationships with both allies and adversaries. While it may strengthen ties with nations that are supportive of U.S. defense initiatives, it could also provoke responses from nations that feel threatened by the U.S. military buildup. Prediction: by 2027 we may see a renewed arms race, particularly with nations such as Russia and China, who might respond by accelerating their own missile development programs. Conversely, U.S. allies in NATO and the Asia-Pacific region may increase their defense cooperation with the U.S. in response to perceived threats. 4. Public and political reaction. Public opinion on missile defense is varied and can significantly influence policy decisions. While some segments of the population may support enhanced missile defense for national security, others may question the efficacy and cost-effectiveness of such systems. Prediction: by late 2026 public support for the missile defense initiative will fluctuate based on the perceived effectiveness of the system and the overall security environment. High-profile missile tests or threats may bolster support, while cost overruns or failures could generate skepticism. 5. Integration with existing defense systems. The new missile defense shield will need to work in tandem with existing systems. Integrating various defense platforms, e.g., Aegis, THAAD, and ground-based mid-course defense will be crucial for creating a multi-layered defense architecture. Prediction: by 2025 the U.S. military will make strides in integrating the new missile defense capabilities with existing systems. This integration will enhance overall effectiveness but may also reveal vulnerabilities in legacy systems that need to be addressed. 6. Cybersecurity and system vulnerabilities. As missile defense systems become more advanced and interconnected, they will also become more vulnerable to cyber attacks. Ensuring the resilience of these systems against cyber threats will be a critical aspect of their development. Prediction: by 2028 cybersecurity measures will be a focal point of missile defense discussions. The U.S. will likely invest heavily in securing systems, but high-profile cyber incidents could expose weaknesses and lead to calls for re-evaluation of the defense strategy. 7. Impact on global military strategy. The introduction of a robust missile defense shield will alter U.S. military strategy, particularly regarding deterrence and defense postures. The ability to intercept a range of missile threats will lead to a reassessment of U.S. nuclear and conventional capabilities. Prediction: by 2027 U.S. military strategy will increasingly focus on deterrence through missile defense, potentially leading to new doctrines and strategies that emphasize defensive capabilities over offensive ones. Conclusion. The development of Trump's next-generation missile defense shield represents a pivotal moment for U.S. defense policy. While the initiative aims to bolster national security against evolving missile threats, its success will depend on technological advancements, budgetary considerations, international relations, and public support. As the U.S. navigates this complex landscape, the outcomes of this initiative will resonate across military, political, and diplomatic spheres for years to come. The 2025 rollout, while ambitious, is just the beginning of what promises to be an evolving and dynamic defense strategy.